Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Rap for No Reason. I'm here to talk about the newest update and a major announcement. The major announcement is going to be at the end of the video. As always, I will timestamp everything in the description, and it should update onto the video as well. All right. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone that viewed my last video. My last video was my first time ever going over like a blog and talking about it. I mentioned very briefly, hey, I'm working on communication. I want to be a content creator. To be a good content creator, I want to be more flexible, and this is part of like that flexibility I'm trying to develop, going over stuff like this. So thank you to everyone that watched that, gave me positive feedback. I'm open to negative feedback too. You can talk to me about it. I'm not shy to criticism. So, with all that being said, thank you to everyone that did that, and I continue to thank you to anyone that continues to do that. Let's get into the blog though, because this is all quality of life changes, but there's still a major announcement at the end with a confirmed date that we need to address. We'll address that last. We'll get through all the nitty-gritty stuff first, and then we'll get to that. So, first things first, and we'll try to breeze through it just to make it, convenient for everybody. Because all of this is quality of life changes. We'll expand upon the quality of life changes a bit too, but anyways, enough waffling for me. Let me go on with it. Alright, the collection log. You can search things in the collection log now. They have a search tool. Cool. Not the biggest deal, but I'm sure somebody, it might save somebody a few seconds. A true quality of life change there. Alright, last man standing. I'm a hardcore Iron Man, but even being a hardcore Iron Man, I still enjoy some last man standing every now and then. I like to earn my rune arrows. I actively play it. I don't just like try to kill a bot, then hide, and that's kind of what this is addressing. A lot of people will kill a bot and then they'll, hide in the fog for a while. They'll try to survive to get more points. They'll even just AFK out there and just, have it on a second monitor, eat while, watching a YouTube video. Happens all the time. They are going to be increasing the damage so that those people can't really do it or do it as effectively for a long time. So eventually, you start taking up to 10 damage for every 6 ticks. So I'm not sure exactly what that means for these players. If because it does scale. It's not just 10 minutes. There is going to be increments, like after 2 minutes 30 seconds you start taking more damage, yada yada yada. The fog does more damage as a TLDR, and I don't know if it's really gonna affect people hiding or how that's gonna work, but we'll see. Any case, it's gonna speed up games, which is great. Alright, combat achievement broadcast. Let's see, not a big deal. Combat achievements can be broadcast in clan chat or group Iron Man chat. That's about it. Forestry. I've never done forestry. I don't really know the nuances on it, the issues on it, etc. But we'll briefly just cover what they have here. All unique drops from forestry events are now automatically placed in your inventory as long as you have the free space for them. I assume some people might have AFK'd too long because, it is woodcutting. Or some people might have DC'd. They got the drop. They were upset because they couldn't pick it up. I assume that might be the case. Or, it's just not like, when you woodcut something, generally it just goes into your inventory right away anyways. So it's just weird that it actually drops into the ground. So this makes sense regardless, even if people weren't complaining about it. Secondly, the bonus from Twitcher's Glove now applies to redwood trees. Apparently it didn't before. I don't even know what Twitcher's Gloves are, but apparently they give clue scroll nests. So maybe there's an increased rate of getting clue scrolls with them. I don't know. I don't like talking about things I don't know. So we'll just move on from that. Let's see. A Dryad. She's no longer blocked by wandering NPC in small spaces. I guess that could be annoying. I don't know again. Whatever. Other changes. Let's see. This is actually what I want to talk about because there's a couple of really nice quality of life changes in here. First and foremost, previous PvP combat information is now wiped upon death, meaning if you just died to somebody, you can't come back and attack them without getting the skull. You get skulled now. This is so important because let's say you killed somebody in a PvP world, right? Fair and square, you killed them, whatever, even if it was coming. A lot of times they'll come back and they'll just rag you as much as possible with like basically no risk because they're not skulled. This has happened to a lot of PKers. It happens all the time. Just petty people. Now they can't really do that without risking their item. I mean, if someone wants to one item you, burn a crystal mace, get a crystal bow seed, whatever, right? But yeah, this is nice, is what I'm getting at. This is pretty nice. Hopefully it'll prevent players from ragging, but we'll see. Remove the League's 4 decorations, League's 4, I think. Decorations from Lumbridge, cool. Sorry, I'm illiterate, I have no clue. Well, I think it's 4, but I'm not sure. Either way, they removed a bunch of decorations from Lumbridge, which is cool. Alright, the lightning circle is now brighter and far more visible on both Calvaria and Vedion. You see, I hate when video games has like core mechanics that you're supposed to know, you're supposed to be aware of, and they're not like blatantly obvious. You don't see them. Like, I get it, there's like this whole immersion thing, it looks good like that, but it's a core mechanic. You have to be able to see them, you have to be able to dodge it. It just is what it is. So, good quality of life change here. Glad it's coming in. Probably shouldn't have been a problem in the first place, is what I'm getting at too. Alright, scrying pools and player-owned houses can once again be used to view a wide range of destinations across the game. Cool. Scrying pools, if you didn't know, look up a Rundy video. Scrying pools weren't used because there's like a scry walk or something like that. It was like creating instance that he would basically use to bug out the game and whatnot. I'm not an expert in that. Look up Rendy on YouTube. You'll see plenty of theory crafted around this scry pool. And I'm sure they've done extensive testing to allow it back in the game. But we'll see, because there might be another Rendy video coming out. But alright, the second part of this, the part that affects me more as a hardcore Ironman, and maybe other Ironmen, or just, people that don't want to interact with PKers. To avoid safe scouting in the wilderness, the pool still won't let you view wilderness locations directly. Instead, they'll just state how many players are in the area of this, as they've been doing in recent months. So this is like, as a hardcore Ironman, if there's somebody in the area, I wouldn't go there anyways. So like, yeah, it makes sense. It'd just be nice to like be able to see, like, is the person like just like the Wilderness Slayer? Are they an actual PKer? And I guess that's part of the risk you just have to take going into the wilderness. It's not an update that's obviously geared towards me. It just kind of is what it is. There's a risk factor to the wilderness. They're trying to keep that risk factor, and I understand it, as inconvenient as it is to me. PKers already have it rough. Let's not make it rougher for them. Alright, fixed a bug where teleporting to your POH wasn't possible when building mode set by default. I didn't even know this was a thing. I swear to God it wasn't a thing. I used to do it all the time. That's odd. Maybe it's a thing in recent time. I guess I really haven't done it since like 2022, so whatever. Alright, fixed a bug where buying a Mage Arena cape from Purdue would make all the other god capes and they'd pink disappear. Bro, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Good, I'm glad they fixed that. I'm glad they fixed that. That's so wild though. Jesus. Alright, this one's a pretty big one. Clue scrolls dropped by a player now last 1 hour on the ground rather than 2 minutes. This doesn't change exists behavior for clue scrolls dropped by NPCs or other entities. So, oh my god, this is so nice. I wish this was around when I used to play on my main. Clue scroll juggling. This is a big deal. Being able to juggle clue scrolls. You know, if you have a master clue scroll, you can drop that master clue scroll. You might be able to get another one. Let's say you're opening like 10 hard clue caskets. First one, you get a master clue scroll, and you're like, well, I don't want to go do that master clue now. Now you're going to open up the rest of your hard clues, and oh, another master clue. Maybe you get 2 more. You just kind of juggle them. This is a big deal, you know. Some people also keep a master clue scroll with a specific a step, and they want to keep that specific step. So they drop that one, and then they grab a new clue scroll for when they get a new clue scroll. So yeah, it is a big deal for the whole clue scroll community, Iron Man community, whatever you want to call them. Anyone that really likes to do clue scrolls, this is a nice quality of life change. Alright, you're now told if you would have gotten a clue but didn't because you already have one. I'm sure this has all happened to us before. You know, you wondered why you didn't get like a hard clue scroll from your Hellhounds task, only to find you had one at the bank. Or, you know, you're hunting elite clues, you do 100 barrels chest, you're like, dang, I'm really drawing an elite clue. There's one in your bank. So, pretty nice change there. Yeah. I wish they would just give us stackable clues already. That would be nice, but I guess easy escape, we can't have that happen, huh? Alright. And add a new line to terms and condition, whatever, right? Who cares? None of us read that shit anyways. Alright, the Varlamore release date. So Varlamore, guys, it's finally announced. If you guys missed it in the summit, Varlamore is the newest expansion to old school RuneScape. This is a big deal, a very big deal. The last one was in 2019, 2018, Zaya. Apparently, and this is their words, this is going to be old school's greatest area expansion to date. Now, I know it was Zaya, it served a lot of purposes, but in a way, Zaya, like, it doesn't really get the activity that, like, a lot of people think. Like, most players that, you know, play the game don't really go to Zaya, aside from, like, a few things. You know, I guess that's not really true. There's just a few hotspots that are used, but the entire area is, like, meh, right? It's pretty meh. People go to the Farming Guild, the Hunter Guild, you know, the Catacombs, Wintertot, and everything else in between is pretty much dead content. I mean, some people use Sand Crab still, I guess, but that's like whatever. So a lot of the area is dead content. It was geared towards newer players, anyways, but the amount of new players there are, and the way that they bring new players to areas, it just doesn't really happen. So, whatever, I'm waffling on about that. Let's focus back on Varlamore. So, they talked about all of this stuff in a previous blog, which I wish I had that open now, but I'll kind of try to go over what I know. Varlamore, March 20th. It's going to include the Coliseum, which was a crazy challenge by the looks of it. I'm going to link the Ruin news and the Ruin, like the TLDR of that. Someone's TLDR of that. Kind of going over the Coliseum. But it's going to be like Theater of Blood. It's going to be like raids. It's going to be insane. It's a skill-based progression, but to like get to the final stages, they basically said like, yeah, you need pretty much like best in slot gear. So that's going to be super exciting to watch. Make sure you check out, you know, Bodhi's stream, Curtis's stream. Everyone's going to be doing this, guys. There's going to be so many streamers on this. There's going to be so much content coming out soon. So that's going to be very exciting. Day one, it's going to be hype. Unfortunately, I will not be there. I will be online, but my main has 10 mil GP, and I'm not going to do the Coliseum, if I'm being completely honest with you. So, it is what it is. The Perilous Moons minigame, no clue what this minigame is, but hopefully it's not dead content. Yeah, not much else to be said about that. The Hunter Guild, the Hunter Guild is weird. Because I thought we kind of had a Hunter Guild, like a quote-unquote Hunter Guild before that provided us with like falconry. But maybe this seems like it's going to be like a more official title, which is really cool. I hope this is a successful thing. I hope there's actually a reason to go there, because this was I don't know, Hunter, like, aside from chinchompas or birdhouses and I guess herbivore, everything else is like, who cares? Honestly, who cares? It's just a way to get a check at a, to get a total level, really, to, a check in the checkbox to max is what it is for most people. People really don't care that much about Hunter. It's a tedious skill, yada yada yada. So hopefully the Hunter Guild brings some life to it. We'll see about that. And they say much more. That probably means quests, unique monsters in the area, some more lore and whatnot. Now, to be clear, they already said this in their last live stream. Varlamore is gonna have 2 parts. So this is part 1 of Varlamore. It's gonna be on March 20th. There's a whole other portion of Varlamore that's apparently coming later in the year. We don't know the exact date yet. But again, they announced that in the Winter Summit. So, this is part 1. Part 2 is coming later in the year. No clue when. Part 2, it's going to include, a boss on a mountain. It's going to include, it's supposed to be a group boss on a mountain. We'll see about that, obviously. It's going to include this new Herblore training method, apparently. I don't know if it's a quote-unquote Herblore guild, but like they said it was going to be like some mid-level Herblore activity that requires 70 Herblore. So hopefully that comes out too. Hopefully Varlamore doesn't take too long, because I would love that. As Iron Man, being able to, Herblore is the hardest in the level. So if that is the case, that would be amazing. But alright. Anything more than I say is just going to be waffling. It pretty much already is. I'm not going to theorycraft. I'm not going to talk about anything I don't know. That was pretty much everything for this update. And there's going to be no more updates until March 20th on the big Varlamore update. So, I will see you guys then. I'm excited. Peace.